Been a while again since we've been in the kitchen. Strawberries, raspberries, blackcurrants, blueberries. That is, oh, and I've got a bunch of herbs as well. I've got spearmint and what else was there? Oh, spearmint and catnip. Just been washing all my strawberries. Water with a bit of white vinegar because these ones are grown from the ones on the ground. Some of them are from the tower, but not all. So they've still got to be cleaned. Just wash them around in the water with the vinegar, tidying up if there's any bits where the wood lice or the slugs have been chewing, then I just cut that off, or bits where the blackbirds have been chewing, obviously because it's been so blooming wet. It's like winter out there. It's not even the middle of July. That's affected the amount of fruit that we've been getting, but we're still getting some fruit. Maybe not as much as we normally would if there's a proper summer. And you would think with all this rain that I don't have to water anything in the garden. Some things have just got too much water, and you can tell that by the plants. The leaves are starting to go a bit pinky red, which they don't normally do in normal weather. They'd normally just go yellow and then brown and then die off for the season. The nutrients have just been washed out the soil because it's so wet. Because I don't use artificial or manufactured fertilizers, I've been getting the men in the house to pee in a bucket, and I've been using that to feed the plants, and also occasionally with some Epsom salts and the Fuller's Earth, the diatomaceous earth that I've got. I never thought of using it for a fertilizer, but I saw somebody else using it. I thought, oh well, why not? My comfrey feed that I normally make isn't ready yet, and I really do need to stay on top of cramming more and more comfrey in the top bucket so that I get more liquid feed. And I better check that actually today, because once anything starts to set fruit or pods or whatever, that's when you need to start with your comfrey feed as soon as we can. Whenever there's been a storm, next day we're going to go off to the beach and collect some seaweed to make fertilizer out of as well, especially for things like the camellia and the blueberries, things like that. But any fruit and veg I will use the seaweed for. I haven't been able to make enough compost. The compost we've got from the shops has been really bad and actually not doing the plants much good. It stunted them or started making them all yellowy, and then we get all the rain, so that didn't help. Just this year, because I've had to scrimp with what I had and really be careful with it, I have literally, instead of adding a bag of compost to the beds, I have been digging, moving the soil for the hole to plant the plugs out, and I've put some of the bought manure. It's the only one I found that's actually been any good, from a small independent little garden centre about 7 miles away. So we bought those in, and in the bottom of the hole where I put the plants in, I just put a little handful of the manure in there with some of whatever fertilizer I've got and a bit of water, and that's it. I've obviously not needed as much fertilizer as I think I need. That's in a normal year. I expect this year we probably need a lot more with all that rain. Protect the soil from too much rain, that's the point. Never leave soil uncovered. And unfortunately, because I couldn't afford to get the amount of compost I needed, and whatever compost we could get, it's not been very good. Because of that, I think that's why the rain is getting through to the plants so much. I would intercrop everything with other plants so that there isn't any bare spots, but I haven't had that many seeds be that successful yet. When you look at the garden, there's loads of stuff growing, but it's not ideal. And I have been working on making sure I've got seeds sown for stuff to last through the winter so that I could harvest stuff from the garden through the winter. Still have to make protection for the beds for the winter. Don't know if we're going to be able to. We were going to be putting in the electrics this month, but most of what we saved for that had to go for buttons and bits treatments, so we'll have to postpone that and just keep saving. So I doubt very much, if the seasons keep going the way they are, then no electrician is going to be able to do the work outdoors past August. We won't be able to save the money by then. That project has to go on the back burner, so I'm concentrating on what we can do in the meantime. I've also last week I made some strawberry jam, so there's enough strawberries there if I wanted to make another 2 batches of strawberry jam, and I usually get about 4 jars out of a batch because I just reduce it so I can reduce the amount of sugar needed. I haven't actually had any pectin for a while, so the jams are coming out a little bit saucy instead of jelly-like. I'm sure the blackcurrants will be very, very set. So I get less jam because I just keep reducing it by cooking it gently for longer to evaporate more moisture. And I've been using about half the normal sugar because I concentrate the jam so much. I use half the amount of sugar. It's the acid that preserves it, not the sugar. We were lied to. I was lied to in high school when we were making jams in home ec. We needed to have the sugar to preserve it. No, you don't. The lemon, the acid, citric acid, and that helps to preserve. And the boiling, and the can, the way you bottle it. So there you go. Just the extra layer of, but to be double sure, if you're not using as much sugar, or lemons are always used, do the extra layer of preserving. I've never had a problem since, and besides, we use it all. I only make enough for what we use for a year and use it up before that, so it all gets used and it's all been fine. Almost done with these strawberries. I'll dry them off, lay them on the baking sheet there, put them in the freezer, and when they're frozen, take them out and put them in the bag. That way they don't get frozen and stuck together in a lump. Just dry them off on the towel a bit. If you are growing any fruits and veggies at the moment, if you do have a veggie garden, a fruit garden, what are you harvesting right now? What are you reaping the benefits of? Because I found that with us, the strawberries are best middle of June to the end of July. The raspberries, the first growth of the raspberries, come in end of June, and then the new growth of raspberries takes over July, August time, sometimes late August. The blackcurrants usually end of June through to the end of July. In my garden, that is. I think it depends on where you are in your climate when you get to harvest. And of course the varieties you use will also depend on when you harvest. I mean, I have no idea what varieties I have. I've had them for years. Some of them were given to us, so I have no idea what varieties they are. What grows, when they're ready, I harvest. I just know that my ones, that's the usual harvesting times. Gentle, not to squish any. I don't want mush. They're generally kind of dry. There we go. Oh, doesn't that just look beautiful? Make sure it's just one layer. Oh, that just looks gorgeous. And the darkness of the tray just pops that beautiful red. Right, that's going in the freezer, going to be frozen, and I'm going to stick on the washing machine, going to do some clearing out upstairs. Usual day today, everyday workings of a suburban homestead. Every day. I already did all work this morning, did some more research. I'd appreciate it if you can, just to like, subscribe, share. If you can go onto the blogs, if you would share those, and I'd really appreciate some feedback, please, so I could tailor things more and gauge what needs changing in the blogs or the podcasts or the YouTube channels, whatever. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you. Put this in the freezer, get on with some clearing out, have a shower, washing machine on, check on the seedlings. Oh, I do have to sow a few more seeds actually for winter stuff still, and a few salady things. Then the days of running around, and this is dragging on too long. It's going to take forever to upload the video. So editing with it as well, because that just takes forever. Oh, even at my basic level. Okay? Alright, lovely. Take care. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.